everyone! So for Valentine's Day, I will be vlogging with this special song. Hi, Abuji!
Sanay.
This is the first time I will be talking to my dad about love, relationship, and marriage. Wait. Usually we just talk about careers, work.
Ikaw ba mag-advise about love?
No. Hindi pa niya nakikita yung questions to keep it candid and natural. You're not nervous too?
Okay lang.
Wow. For this vlog, I prepared a few questions from friends. Then,
Yung haba niya.
and then I have personal questions that I haven't asked either of you and Mama. When did you start dating and how many girls have you dated before, Mama? Wait lang,
Next
doon muna tayo.
question.
Doon muna
Next
tayo sa
question.
when. What age?
At the age of 15. When I was in high school.
Pero ang balita ko, you started dating like grade 1?
Oo.
Grade 1?
It's only in school. But then we're talking about dating, diba? So, there's crush, diba? But definitely, hindi ka naman nakakalabas, diba? On your own.
So how many girls have you dated before?
Wala. Isa lang and then after that, mom, wala.
Wow! Grabe! Totoo ba yan? Ikaw? Itong face na to, isa lang?
Baka pag-usapan ng away.
First name lang. Anong name?
Nona.
Nona?
Tagal na yun.
Akala ko name niya Nona. Gano'ng katagal yung ano na yun?
What do you mean? Yung high school?
Yeah, yung kay Nona.
I think 6 months. Tapos kasi masyado ako nag-focus sa pag-aaral. Sabi ko, no time for love yet.
Si Mama, saan mo na-meet? Paano mo siya na-meet?
Supplier kami before ng rice sa kanila. Pupunta sa store si mama ko. Ayun, so doon ko na sila yan ang ganda niya.
Do you think knowing whether or not it's love depends on how long you've been with the person?
Yung heart would tell you if you really love that person even for a very short period of time. Minsan talagang it's not all about knowing the person that long, but then in a very short period of time. Kaya nga may mga nagpapakasal at an early stage and yet naging successful in marriage nila. So the moment na nagkaroon ng spark and then you really feel na mahal mo yung tao na yun. So I don't think ang reference dyan is yung time.
So, mag-agree ka dun sa saying na like, you know it if you know it. Or you just know it.
Yeah. And then, sa ibang tao, sometimes talagang gusto nila to be sure kasi pagka nagpakasal sila, it's something na talagang lifetime, diba?
Yeah.
So, they just want to be sure na talagang ito yung tamang tao para sa kanila.
In a marriage, do you always have to have that feeling of being in love? Like every day? Kapag
It should be that way. Yan ang secret di ba? May ups and downs More often than not, they're saying na talaga it's always a roller coaster ride. Minsan, kahit hindi kayo nagkakausap, nagkakaintindihan na kayo. So, because alam niyo sa sarili niyo parehas na busy kayo, di ba? So, but it doesn't mean na talagang wala na in love.
I think halos lahat yata ng parents.
Yes, yeah. So, even doon sa mga mayayaman tao na, yan din ang problema nila, di ba? So, it's just how you would handle things, diba? As husband and wife. Lalo na pagka may mga anak na kayo, katulad sa case natin, 5 kayo, diba? So, ang iniisip mo na is yung paano mo mabibigyan ng magandang buhay yung mga anak mo.
Yeah.
Diba? It's always like a rat race every day. Ang tinitignan na lang namin, whatever it is na magandang buhay na naibibigay namin sa inyo. So, that's a sense of accomplishment on our part.
Sarang, I believe that there are other people who doesn't believe in marriage. Like, lagi nila sinasabi, what's the point of getting married if you know naman na you do love each other? The main question is, what is the difference between couples living together and marriage?
Well, sa atin, syempre, being Roman Catholic, hindi ako naniniwala dyan. Of course, ayoko rin sa mga anak ko na mangyayari sasabihin ganyan, di ba? I want, kapag kayo is talaga, ikakasal kayo, di ba?
Yeah.
So, hindi naman din ako papayag ng gano'n. So, I totally disagree sa ganyang klaseng setup. We're blessed, di ba? So, may approval yan ni God eh. That's the most important thing, di ba?
If you get married, you're including God to your relationship.
Yes, yes.
Wait lang. Na-realize ko, wala pa kasi. Do you have methods or rules when it comes to communication in times of arguments?
My case kasi, I'd rather not speak, I'd rather be silent. So, I want mag-cool down yung situation, ayoko mag-further escalate, hindi mo dapat salubungin. So, better na talaga may mag-give way, di ba? Para hindi kayo nagka-clash.
But do you still talk about it after or...
Definitely, kasi mas maganda pag-usapan pagka malamig na yung ulo ninyo. Mas madaling ma-absorb, mas nagsisink in ang lahat. Siguro naman, yung 25 years, iba kung talagang meron ka mga grudges I don't think tatagal kayo ng gano'n. May mga issues sometimes na you just have to let it go. Diba?
How were you able to tell that mama was the one?
Siyempre, you always ask for signs. Mga bagay noon na you pray, diba? Na humingi ka ng sign and then makikita mo naman may mga signs talaga na nag-lead na masasabi mo na, she's the one na, diba?
Natatandaan mo pa yung moment? Nung time na...
Actually, si mama mo yun.
Mama's exposed.
Sinabi niya sa akin, nag-agree na lang.
You're aware that I'm very invested in what I do, sa career. Super focused ko sa ambitions ko. I have a lot of goals in life. What if there will come a time na I have to decide between love and career? What should I choose?
For me, I don't think I'm the right person para magsalita. Kasi sa akin, between love and career, di ba? Nauna yung love then yung career follow, di ba? So, hindi ko pwede sabihin na dapat career muna. In my case, talagang nauna. Pagka-graduate ko, kinasal ka agad ako. Yung career just followed. It depends, di ba? The most important thing is, hindi puro love. Kasi hindi kayo magsusurvive and mabubuhay na puro love lang. There should be some sort of yung mga goals na gusto ninyo. Otherwise, yan yung mga isa sa pagiging dahilan para hindi maging successful yung married life. Kasi pagka nagugutom na kayo, walang maganda nangyayari sa relationship yun. Do you think na talagang magiging okay yung pagsasama niyo? Definitely not, di ba?
If you were asked to make a checklist for your old self before you get married, what would it contain? Like, what are the things you want to tell your old self that you should know before settling down?
Number one is, of course, you should have the money. Parang mas masarap pala nung nagpakasal ako na talagang may savings ka na, di ba?
Yeah.
In my case right now, I felt so blessed and mas marami ako dapat ipagpasalamat.
What changes in love as you grow old?
Hindi ka na nagiging vocal, definitely. Sometimes yung hindi ka na rin malambing doesn't mean na wala na in love. At our age, awkward na alam mo yun.
Anniversary niya last year. Super awkward yun na yun, magbibigay ng flowers. Yun, magtitingin
Sometimes
na.
so holding us, hindi na kayo makapag-holding us.
Pa-dare ko sa'yo mamaya. Kasi we're gonna meet mama later. Bora heck. Bora heck.
Wala pala tama na yan.
Yeah. What's the greatest lesson you've learned from your past relationship?
Sa dami, parang wala ako matanda. Naging, manhid na. Just be loyal and faithful, that's it.
Actually, I want to take this opportunity to thank you and mama talaga. Kasi from my school, there are a lot of broken families. I'm grateful na we're not one of those people na nasa broken family.
Kayo bilang mga anak ko, kailangan ko kayong protektahan and dapat ang maging focus and attention ko is buo yung family dahil kasi I know na talaga kung ano yung magiging effect. So siguro yung love ko sa inyo ng mga anak ko, yun yung talagang nangibabaw.
What's your ideal type of guy for me? Good question.
Well, definitely, syempre, dapat yung mabait, patient, diba, understanding. So, yun lang yung ano ko.
Take notes.
Di ba lang hindi gwapo, di ba? Kasi sa akin, naibigay lahat
Wow! What's the best advice that you can give me before I finally enter into a relationship?
Self-preservation. It should start from ourselves. Everything follows. Kaya mahal mo yung sarili mo, nakakaisip ka ng maganda, nakakaisip ka ng tama. It's always love God and love yourself. Ako naniniwala pa din ako sa yung pag matagal kang niligawan, it means sincere. Gusto ko talaga ng traditional way of courting yung babae, di ba? So, hindi pwede yung talagang chat-chat lang. Tapos pag-grab, pa-deliver ko, naman hindi, you have to go personally do sa house ng nililigawan mo. Kaya hindi ako papayag na ikaw talagang sasagutin mo yung lalaki na dahil ka-chat mo lang, nag-enjoy ka, di ba? So, you need to test the guy, di ba? Kung talagang mahal ka. Makita mo na naghihirap siya para mapasagot ka niya.
So, dapat pala sabihin ko magharana. Okay, kami kumakanta.
Pagod na ako, nagdadrive na ako, daldal pa na. Okay?
Amo, G!
Okay na, cut na, okay na.